Happening now, deadly Buffalo blizzard.
I'm still snowed in. My driveway is impassable and my car is dead. So
we're hearing from one Queen City resident who's stuck at home amid a storm for the record books. And Period Poverty Special Report, a look at efforts to break down barriers to women's reproductive health here in New York. Plus, service animal agony.
Don't distract them, don't whistle at them.
Hear the call from a local group of service dog trainers sounding the alarm about an increase in interference when out on the town.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, New York Governor Kathy Hochul has formally requested President Joe Biden declare a federal emergency for 2 western New York counties after a powerful and deadly blizzard. The governor's office is seeking the declaration for Erie and Genesee counties. Erie County includes Buffalo, where authorities say at least 27 people have died as a result of the storm. The declaration will provide immediate federal assistance to support ongoing response and rescue operations. The White House says they are readying resources to get Western New York through the event. Meanwhile, parts of the region remain buried by up to 3 to 4 feet of snow, and officials expect more to fall come Tuesday afternoon. Well, thousands of Western New Yorkers are still stuck at home amid this deadly, record-breaking, and once-in-a-lifetime winter storm. Bronson Rasmussen joins us live in the newsroom with more from residents in the Queen City. Now, Bronson, living through this historic blizzard.
President and WNY News Now intern Kelly Ackerman is among the tens of thousands now trying to dig out.
the storm hit really fast on Friday morning. Went into Walmart at 7. By the time we came out at 8, it was full blizzard, almost whiteout conditions immediately. It was really the wind that, really drove this into what it was.
From November through April, snowstorms are just a part of life in Western New York, but this one caught many off guard.
We just had a blizzard a couple weeks ago, and it was bad, but it was not this bad. So I wouldn't be surprised if most of us didn't prepare as much as we should, not knowing that this was going to be, as detrimental as it was.
At one point, Ackerman did lose power for a few hours, which pales in comparison to what others are experiencing.
We lost power here for about 5 hours, but I have friends that in the city that still don't have power, that haven't had it since Friday. So it's really a difference of 5 minutes, drive between people that haven't had power for 4 days and those of us that were lucky enough to only lose it for a few hours.
When heating vents are blocked by the snow, the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning increases drastically. This was a top concern for Ackerman.
So the first thing I did, was check our carbon monoxide detector to make sure it was working, and it was. But then one of my friends actually did have to leave her house because her carbon monoxide detector was going off.
Even now in the Buffalo area, many are still stuck at home.
You'll have one street that seems fine and is plowed, and then you'll come to another street that is completely a dead end. You cannot go that way.
Right now, Ackerman is stuck at home with a snow-covered street and a car battery dead due to the frigid cold weather. She hopes to finally dig out as temperatures warm up later this week. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Bronson, thank you so much. Interstate 90 now reopened just a little while ago after it was closed over the holiday here in Western New York because of this major snowstorm. The closure did have some impacts across our region for those trying to get in and out. Truckers passing through Erie, Pennsylvania specifically said that the road closure slowed them down significantly, forcing them to head into central PA before working their way back to I-90 in New York. The ripple effect could be felt throughout the area. Any trucker trapped by this storm could also see their deliveries now delayed for days.
The food and the clothes on your back and then your belly comes on our trucks. If you four-wheelers can't give us the room, you guys need to be off the road, not us.
Now, the Buffalo airport will not reopen until Wednesday, just putting it into picture about how significant this storm really is. Meanwhile, the snow is piling up across our region amid this winter weather. Let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Andrew Stevenson joining us now with a look at the latest snow totals. And boy, Andrew, it's really impressive when you look at that number, 51 inches there at the Buffalo airport.
Yeah, once again, the Buffalo area and Erie County, they took the brunt of this storm just like they took the brunt of the snowstorm back in November. And you can see snowfall totals really tally up, or really diminished from Erie County, where Buffalo saw just over 51 inches, Hamburg at 41 inches, Orchard Park at 37 inches. But you get down here into the southern tier in Chautauqua County, and those snowfall totals just dropped like a rock. Mayville, 9.5 inches, Dunkirk at 8 inches, and Jamestown, we picked up just over 2 inches of snow at the Jamestown airport. Here is what is left of the watches and warnings. You know, this past weekend we had wind chill warnings, we had blizzard warnings, we had winter storm warnings, and this is all that is left is one measly winter weather advisory that will expire at the top of the hour, 1 o'clock for Erie County. Other than that, the rest of the watches and warnings have expired. Here's what's going on in first offense Doppler radar. Lake effect snow across southern Erie County and northern portions of Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County. But that lake effect snow will continue to diminish through the rest of the afternoon and the evening. And after that, we're done with it. We're done with the snow for hopefully quite some time, because the Buffalo area really needs to dig out from this, and probably even still digging now and getting over the snowstorm back in November. But there is some good news on the way. There are some warmer temperatures on the way. Yesterday, the high in Jamestown was 16 degrees. The low was 8 degrees. That is far below the averages of 35 and 21. The record was 60, set back in 1936, and the record low was -12, set back in 1983. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, mostly cloudy skies, a few lake effect snow showers to the north, temperatures in the mid-20s in the hilltops to upper 20s in the lower elevations. Now, we do have warmer weather on the way, and that will be welcomed by many people, and I'll have those details coming up, Justin.
Yeah, certainly will be. Andrew, thank you. As we continue, we're now following up on New York state legislation, which supplies menstrual products to those in homeless shelters, all free of charge. And later, gas prices, they are down significantly from last year, but that could all change as we head into the new year. We'll explain why. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now. The Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Well, last week marked the anniversary of New York state legislation to put free period products in homeless shelters. Our Capitol correspondent Elise Klein with a special report on how the legislation has done over the past year.
Some advocates say that period poverty is an issue that is very pervasive and something we often don't think about. But this legislation, they say, is a step in the right direction to combating this issue. For part one of this special report, we break down the parameters of this bill and the implementation process. Last year, Governor Hochul signed into law a bill requiring homeless shelters across the state to provide free feminine hygiene products, making New York one of 4 states to pass legislation like this. Today, as the bill reaches its anniversary, Hochul says it has made a great impact so far.
It's something we're proud of, recognition that we have to have equity. And for too many times, women have higher costs to go through everyday life than men do.
Period poverty is defined as the lack of access and affordability to menstrual products. The bill essentially adds to the social services law that any New York State provider of temporary housing are required to provide period products on site, including sanitary napkins, tampons, and panty liners at no cost to the menstruating individual. Social services districts are also required to ensure the availability of these products on site. The State Office of Temporary Disability Assistance oversees inspecting homeless shelters to make sure they are in accordance with state regulations. A spokesperson from the state agency says that so far, shelters are in good compliance. Hochul and State Senator Roxanne Prasad, a co-sponsor of the bill, said the implementation process has been going well. But some advocates say there have been challenges.
This legislation, it allowed the shelters to be able to provide products, but at the same time, we know that shelters have limited budgets.
Giroux adds that a majority of shelters rely heavily on donations. Senator Prasad says through this legislation, shelters have to allocate state funding they receive to budget for these products on top of operating costs. Some shelters say the per diem rates aren't enough.
I don't think that there's a true appreciation as to how much these mandates cost.
Prasad says it's possible the legislature will take a look at additional funding.
People menstruate all the time. And so we cannot walk around saying, oh, we funded it last year, that's okay. No, we have to continue funding it because there's always going to be the need.
Senator Prasad says moving forward, the legislature will be looking at expanding this initiative to public schools. For the second part of this special report, we'll be taking a closer look at how homeless shelters were impacted this past year. For WNY News Now, I'm Elise Klein.
Elise, thank you. Part 2 of that report, as she mentions, airs tomorrow. Well, New York Attorney General Letitia James today invited the state's residents to report any price gouging by stores facing shortages of painkillers and fever reducers for children. The Attorney General issued a consumer alert amid a surge of cases of coronavirus, RSV, and the flu, urging anyone who spots a gouging to report it to her office. This is all amid a national shortage of the medication for youngsters. The AG says she was putting various providers on notice and saying that her office is ready to investigate any dramatic price increases. She's also noting here that state law prohibits merchants from taking unfair advantage of consumers by setting unconscionably high prices for anything vital to the safety, health, and welfare of state residents. James also cautioning here consumers to buy only as much of the medicine as they need and not to stockpile it because others will need it too. Retailers, she added, are permitted to limit the amount of medication that they sell to individual consumers when their supply is limited. Well, Wegmans is recalling some greens and cat grass that could be contaminated with salmonella. The affected products include baby kale and baby spinach. Microgreens and cat grass sold in 7 states, including New York and Pennsylvania. The soil used to grow these products have tested positive for salmonella, according to Wegmans. The recall was issued out of an abundance of caution. Luckily, no illnesses have been reported. The recalled cat grass has since all been sold out. On the 25th, the microgreens have a use-by date of December 17th and the 24th, and the baby kale and baby spinach have a use-by date of December 20th. Well, even though Congressman Joe Sepolensky only has been at the U.S. Capitol for a handful of months now, he tells our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp he's proud of the accomplishments so far in such a short amount of time. She spoke with him one-on-one before his term ends in January.
It truly has been the honor of a lifetime to speak for the people of the Southern Tier and Finger Lakes. This is the district I was born in, the district I was raised in.
Western New York's Representative Joe Semplinsky's short term is coming to an end. He won a special election earlier this year, taking over former Representative Tom Reed's seat after Reed stepped down for a job in the private sector. But even though Semplinsky has been here for a relatively short amount of time, he's made an impact.
Just last week, a bill that I was the prime Republican sponsor on regarding assistive technologies for the disabled was passed through the House. It was part of the National Defense Authorization Act.
The legislation would help people with disabilities by expanding access to assistive technologies like wheelchairs, walkers, communication devices, learning aids, all of which can help people with disabilities live, work, and participate in their communities independently. He says his daughter, who has Down syndrome, is his hero and an inspiration for his time in Congress and to advocate for those with disabilities. Semplinsky, who only ran for the special election, says he's rounding out his time in Congress on a high note. He says he will continue providing constituent services for the people of Western New York and is ready to pass the torch to the next.
We've got three transitions. Most of my district I'm going to hand off to Mr. Langworthy. Some of it is going to go to Congressman-elect Molinaro, and some of it's going to go to Congresswoman Tenney. I have a great relationship with all three of them. And what's good about all three of them, and I hopefully myself, is they do remain focused on the people of the district. I know that they will, and I'm eager to make sure that the transition is smooth to all three of those offices.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. Coming up next, why gas prices may rise once again and how high could they reach come springtime. And later, the message from a local service dog trainer about the importance of resisting the pet. We'll explain when we come back. But first, Andrew joins us once again with a full look at our weather forecast and the warm-up coming our way later this week. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now. WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now at noon. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we are under cloudy skies. The temperature at the noon hour was 19 degrees at the Jamestown Airport with a south wind of 12 miles per hour and a wind chill at 6, which is definitely warmer than where it was over the weekend. Speaking of warmer weather, this is the next big thing we're talking about, and it's a complete 360-degree turn in the temperatures. We'll go from Arctic cold this past weekend to temperatures well above average as we head into the new year, and it looks like above average temperatures will stick with with us at least through the first week of January. We're talking temperatures in the 40s and possibly even in the 50s, a much welcome sight after all the snow and Arctic cold we've seen over the past week. And here's what's going on across the Northeast. Lake effect snow continues to diminish off most of the lakes. High pressure to the south will pass by the area, and that's going to filter in some warmer air beginning tomorrow, much warmer air as we head into the weekend. Let's time it out in a future look. This is what's going to happen for the next 48 hours. For the rest of the afternoon, future look will show you that lake effect snow band across Erie County continue to diminish through the afternoon and the even. That's going to lead us with mostly cloudy skies through the rest of the afternoon into the night. As we head into tomorrow, a few clouds around in the morning, but those clouds will begin to dissipate. And look at that, the sunshine is going to return for tomorrow. We'll go partly to mostly sunny skies for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies into the night Wednesday and into early Thursday. We start off with some sunshine on Thursday, but some more clouds will begin to build in for the rest of the afternoon on Thursday. So for the rest of today, or for the night, rest of the day, mostly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy skies continue into the night with maybe a few stray flurries. We'll go with the low 20s in the valleys to mid to upper 20s at the lakeshore. Now, the next 7 days brought to you by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. The sunshine returns tomorrow. Temperatures warm up into the mid 30s. Temperatures warm up into the mid 40s by Thursday, but we will have a few more clouds around. Temperatures in upper 40s on Friday, but we will bring in a chance for a few rain showers on Friday. Rain continues into Saturday, but temperatures near 50 on Saturday, and as we rain into New Year, looks like it's going to be cloudy, and the temperatures will continue to be above average in the low 40s, Justin.
Yeah, certainly not feeling like the end of December here, but nevertheless, I'm sure maybe some good relief to all those having to deal with the snow in our region. Andrew, thank you very much. Well, here's some headlines now from around the nation, and gas prices are way down from the record highs they hit last summer, currently just over $3 a gallon nationwide, but don't get used to it. According to Gas Buddy, an app that helps track gas prices, the price at the pump could rise to $4 a gallon by May. That's significantly cheaper than the spike that topped $5 a gallon earlier this year. The prediction is based on the higher cost to produce summer-grade gasoline, plus more Americans hit the road in the warmer months. However, Gas Buddy admits there's a lot of uncertainty in gas prices, and accurate predictions are certainly a challenge. Well, the number of asylum seekers in the U.S. has hit an all-time record high. 1.6 million asylum applications are pending in the U.S. immigration courts, the largest number recorded ever. U.S. immigration courts have experienced a seven-fold increase in asylum cases from the fiscal year of 2012, when they were just under 100,000 pending cases. Syracuse University's Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse has been keeping track of these numbers. The asylum seekers are from 219 different countries, and they speak 418 different languages. The leading countries of origin include Guatemala, Venezuela, Cuba, and Brazil. Now, an average wait time for an asylum hearing is more than 4 years, but in various immigration courts, the wait time is now almost 6 years because of this record amount. Well, how about a mega big lottery prize to round out your year? The Mega Millions jackpot has rolled over again after no one won the top prize in Friday night's drawing. It's now estimated at $565 million, which would go towards the winning ticket. That would represent the sixth largest prize in the game's history. The jackpot has grown ever since the last grand prize was split between two winning tickets back on October 14th, if you remember that lottery madness. Your odds to win the whole thing remain pretty rough here, though, about 1 in more than 302 million. The next drawing now set for tonight. Good luck. Well, coming up next, we hear the renewed effort to respect animals at work. Why service dog interference is on the rise here in Jamestown.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone. and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Right here, baby. Look. Oma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
Police and other local law enforcement agencies are looking for the person responsible for a shooting.
One of the benefits of this new feature is it not only works with the newer parking meters that the city's been rolling out, but these traditional meters as well.
From muddy trails to slick cliff edges to structures that have fallen into disrepair, these are just some of the problems that this park faces.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A service animal has a multitude of uses, from helping someone navigate public spaces to providing emotional support. However, some locals are having issues with others interacting with their animals. Our Alyssa Wright reports.
The staff at New Hope Assistance Dogs understands the importance of keeping service animals and their handlers safe.
We train service dogs to help individuals lead a more productive, independent life with the help of their assistants, obviously.
These dogs are considered to be medical equipment, trained to detect an abundance of disorders and attacks, ranging from anxiety to seizure disorders.
I was diagnosed with CPTSD, and it has caused a seizure disorder. So Atlas alerts me for multiple things, if my heart rate's spiking or if I'm about to have an attack.
I also have a service dog, Lucy. She is helping me with anxiety and PTSD. We're still working with the alert for the PTSD, but basically it's the same. She alerts me before I have any attack.
Each dog is trained to do a specific task. However, sometimes they are not always respected by the public.
Don't distract them. Like you're saying, don't look at them. Don't distract them. Don't whistle at them.
Distracting a service dog can be dangerous, as not all disabilities are visible.
Leo helps me. He alerts me when my blood sugars are high and low. He comforts me when I have panic and anxiety. He wakes me when I have night terrors.
In the end, it is best to completely ignore a working dog so as not to distract them from the task they are doing for their handler. Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you. Now, Andrew Karen now has teamed up with her service dog, Lucy, to help new assistance dogs collect donations of shoes. That'll help cover the costs of training. For more info on how you can help, check out their Facebook page. Just search New Hope Assistance Dogs on Facebook. And it's such an interesting conversation because a lot of people, they want to pet animals, but at the same time, you can't. They're a working dog and they have a task to do. So it's tough. It's almost like, and then sometimes I think it comes down to the actual handler of the dog, right? Because I've been in situations where they're like, yeah, you can pet my dog, it's okay, but then they move on to shopping at the store or whatever the case might be.
Yep. No, speaking of dogs, I hope everyone took care of those dogs when they're winter weather up in the Buffalo area.
Oh, yeah.
The cold.
The cold with our furry friends has been a tough one. So I know you're talking about warmer temperatures, as you just mentioned, later this week. But that's the tough thing. It's like when we were just talking with Kelly, our intern who Bronson interviewed at the top of the show, that she couldn't see her son on Christmas because of the storm, and it's so tough. So our hearts certainly go out to everybody there in Buffalo who has to deal with the winter weather. And that's one of the things that I think is so remarkable of our region, is the fact that you could have a blizzard in Buffalo, and on Christmas Eve here in Jamestown, it wasn't that bad. And then, of course, you know, the ban shifted down south. Christmas Day was kind of yucky out there for many people.
You just define what lake effect snow ban.
Yeah.
One area you'll get a complete blizzard, and just a few miles away you have the sunshine out. That is the definition of a lake effect snow ban.
Welcome to Western New York. It's so unique. I know there's other places in the world that have it, but it's so few and far between the Great Lakes. And I think I was reading somewhere overseas there was one other area where they had like lake effect setup, and that's it. But nevertheless, it's welcome to Western New York, folks. That is going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live shot over our studio here in downtown Jamestown. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.